When I was little, my mother used to tell us the story of Chicken Little. She, Chicken Little, ran around the town trying to convince everyone that the sky was falling, when really it was just an acorn that had fallen from a nearby tree, unbeknownst to her. Chicken Little only saw the negative. She assumed the worst. Chicken Little was the doomsayer in this story. When you look at a glass of water half filled, do you say it's half full? Or are you more apt to say it's half empty? Do you look at the brighter side of things first? Or are you called a sourpuss because negativity is your first thought? Consistently putting a negative spin on life can come at a cost to our emotional and physical health and can literally bring more negativity into our lives. Today, I want to convince you that an optimistic view of life is the happier, healthier way. I have come up with 4 ways to hopefully convince you of this. First, because an optimist is healthier. Second, because an optimist views the possibilities before the impossibilities. Third, an optimist speaks and thinks and envisions the future in a positive way. And fourth, of course, an optimist is happier. First, an optimist is healthier. From a website titled High Existence, it gave a basic cellular biology lesson of how our thoughts program the cells in our body. You see, we have thousands of receptors in our body, and when we have emotions such as anger or sadness, we think in a negative way, or we think in a positive way. We feel happy, joy. These emotions release a flurry of neural peptides, and these peptides surge throughout our body and connect with other receptors, which can change the structure of the cell as a whole. Where this gets interesting is when the cells actually divide. If a cell has been exposed to a certain peptide, feeling, or thought more than others, that new cell that is produced through that division will actually have more of that receptor that matches that specific peptide. So, if we are bombarding ourselves with peptides from a negative attitude, you are literally programming the cells in your body to receive more of those peptides in the future. Even worse, you are lessening the number of positive attitude peptides, thus making yourself more inclined to negativity. But the good news is we can reprogram our pessimistic cells to be more optimistic. We know that an optimist has less illness. They have more energy. They look healthier as they have more positive cells running throughout their body. Second, an optimist views the possibilities before the impossibilities. An optimist looks at the more favorable side of anything and anticipates the best positive outcome. Sir Winston Churchill said, "A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, but an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty." Even when they are in a less than favorable situation, they find something to be positive about. For example, if they have a flat tire, they see it as a way to practice their tire changing skills. We had some friends who, a few years back, whose home burned to the ground. And as my husband ran to the aid of our friend, and my husband and our friend stood there watching the house burn, in his very optimistic way, he said, "Well, we always said if we rebuilt, we wanted to make this room bigger, change this and change that." When things go bad for an optimist, they see new opportunities. They pick up the pieces and they move on to something greater. They do not see failure as the end, but they see it as the beginning of something great. They learn from these new changes and they keep moving forward. Third, an optimist thinks, speaks, and envisions their future in a positive way. Do you find yourself saying things like, "I am always," "Why can't I?" "I wish that I." Well, stop it. Reprogram your thoughts. Nothing takes optimism away faster than negative words and thoughts. An optimistic person only speaks and thinks positively of themselves. An optimist sees their future as bright. They envision their days, their weeks, and their years ahead, full of things they want to achieve. And then they envision themselves achieving those hopes and dreams. They literally paint a picture in their minds of where they want to be and what they want to be doing when they get there. When an optimist envisions their future in this way, new opportunities, new learning, more potential come to them. And fourth, an optimist is happier because they are more grateful. They think less of themselves and more of others. We know that when someone thinks in a positive way, they feel better and they are more motivated to help others around them. Don't you want to be around an optimistic person? An optimist is openly greeted by others because of the way they make them feel. When an optimist is happier, they see more of everything that is going right around them rather than what is going wrong. They see the glass half full. We know that the brain and the body are undoubtedly interconnected, so it comes as no surprise that a negative, pessimistic mind over time can affect your emotional and physical health. It has been proven that a pessimist deals with more anxiety, stress, high blood pressure, more chronic conditions. We know that when a pessimist chooses to focus on the worst usually comes to them. And as a pessimist thinks and acts in this negative way, greater understanding, more opportunities, new change will not come to them. So it is my hope today that I have convinced you that an optimistic view on life is the happier, healthier choice to take, and that more positive will come to you in your life. In the end, Chicken Little led all of her friends and self down into the fox's hole, never to be seen again. Make sure you aren't the one pulling others down with you because of your pessimistic view of life. Being an optimist doesn't mean that everything in life will go perfect, but I hope today I have convinced you that having an optimistic view on life helps you to see new opportunities, learn new things, and helps you to move forward envisioning the best for yourself and your future. And the positive cells in your body will multiply and divide by the millions.